Good afternoon. Welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep. Welcome to your Tuesday editorial analysis. I hope I am visible and audible to everyone. Give me a thumbs up if you can see me and hear me clearly. Those of you who've been attending these sessions regularly, you know that this is an analysis from a linguistic point of view. We just look at the passage, look at what the editor has written, what he has not written, what we can infer, and then we discuss a few vocabulary questions and one grammar question as well. All right. As you all know, today the CAT answer sheets have been released, so many of you must be caught in the excitement of that. But remember, if you've not done well in CAT, there are options other than CAT for which this editorial analysis will help you. Good afternoon, Priyanshi. All right, so today let us start. As usual, I'll give you 30 seconds per slide. This editorial has been taken from, this excerpt has been taken from an Indian Express editorial. And a couple of, it's not a very new editorial, it's about some days back, about the tunnel collapse that happened in Uttarkashi, the remarkable rescue work that happened and the lessons that we can take from that rescue work. I chose this editorial because it has a good mix of content, good mix of language from where I can give you questions. All right, I'll give you about 40 seconds to read this slide. All right, so what does the author say in the first slide? Let me quickly read and recap before we move on. The phrase all government respond doesn't actually do justice, doesn't really tell you the exact thing, what happened during the intensive and painstaking 17-day rescue operation mounted in the aftermath of the Silkyara Barkot tunnel collapse in Uttarkashi. Just to say it was an all-government effort is inadequate to describe the intensive and painstaking efforts. It was very, very tough, intensive, but they managed it. Yes, Vishal, they are out, which is why a lot of our regulars are missing here. Even in a country teeming with tales of hope and despair, we are a country which have a lot of stories, full of stories of hope and despair. It is rare, even for our country where we have so many stories like this, it is rare to find the solidarity, cooperation. Let me change my ink color. Solidarity, cooperation, empathy, resilience around a single event. So much unity, so much cooperation, so much resilience, the will, the determination, the strength to overcome adversity around a single event. And everything was visible in this one rescue operation. It took 7 government agencies, assistance from the armed forces, and the efforts of many others to successfully extract 41 migrant workers from 4 states after digging through 57 meters of debris. Hello, Sonali. All right, so it was a massive effort. CAT answer keys are out, responses are out. I have not seen mine because I was busy with this PPT. I will go back and see, but I know that I have made some mistakes. So I found the paper moderate, so I don't know how it is. Let's look at the passage at hand and then we'll discuss that. There's no point doing post-mortem for me. If you've done well, you expect a score, calculate it, put it in a percentile, score predictor, percentile predictor, go ahead. If you haven't done well, all the more reason for us to focus on this passage. All right. In the end, it was miners with the experience of working in the tiniest crevasses, the smallest gaps in the rocks, closer to the men inside the tunnel than the mighty machines that preceded them, who finally made the mission a success. So first they used these mighty machines to get to those people. But once they were there, that last step, no machine could do it. It was the human intervention there that made the mission a success. Desalkera Barkot Tunnel is part of the ambitious Char Dham Pariyojana, under which several highways and roads are being constructed and widened in Uttarakhand. Now read the second slide. I'll again give you 40 seconds. All right. So what does he say in the second paragraph? Obviously, he talked about the rescue event. Now he is going into details, right? He says the tunnel collapsed after a landslide early morning on November 12th, and rescue efforts began soon after, amid precarious debris and rubble. Precarious, why? Because they're all balancing in very uncertain. You don't know when something will fall. The operation had to keep a host of risks in mind. One is the precarious debris, the rubble of the landslide and the collapsed tunnel. Second is many other risks also, ensuring the safety of the trapped men as well as the rescue workers. Both are at risk, right? By day 10, there were 5 viable options, including the US-made auger machine. We've done this word before. What is the difference between auger and auger? Auger is a drilling machine, and it's being called auger machine. This auger is a prediction or an omen. It can be used for both. To dig horizontally from the Silkyara end of the tunnel. This was thought to be the quickest way to reach the workers. You dig horizontally, get to the workers. Unfortunately, the joint of the machine broke while drilling, and a practice colloquially known as rat hole mining was used to clear the last few meters. What is rat hole mining? It involves miners going down narrow pits barely large enough for one person to extract coal. They used to do this earlier. An operation as delicate as this one, with so many lives at stake, needed to be meticulous. What is the meaning of meticulous? I haven't given this word. Somehow it missed me. Very, very particular. Really careful attention. When you give very careful attention to details, it's called meticulous. So this has to be really correct, really accurate, giving a lot of attention to details. In the aftermath, the result, the consequence, the end of the whole thing, the national attention that the tunnel collapse and the resilience of the trapped workers have received is an opportunity. What is it? It is an opportunity to address structural issues. All right, read the last slide quickly in 30 seconds, and then we'll move on to the questions. I missed a lot of very nice questions in the last passage. All right. Then what does he say? Finally, the Uttakashi tunnel collapse once again turned the spotlight. Turning the spotlight on somebody means turning attention on invisible migrant workers. The last time when we did that was because of the travails they faced during the lockdown in the pandemic. Travails means problems. The problems that migrant workers faced during the pandemic. What happened? What were the problems they faced? Lockdown. These are migrant workers. They are away from home. They eat in some eatery somewhere. Lockdown, all eateries were closed. Where will they get food from? They're migrant workers. They're daily laborers. Whatever wage they get for the day is enough for them to eat. Some little bit they save for their family. Work was all stopped, so they were not having any money. So lot of issues there, and they couldn't go back because there was no transport. So they were the worst hit during the pandemic. The last time the attention was on them was during the pandemic. And what was the wrong reason? Because of the problems they faced. Again, now the issue is look at the condition of the migrant workers. From those trapped to those who rescued them, both are migrants. Right? The workers who were trapped, the workers only rescued them, are arduous stories of being away from home. One, they are away from home. That's why they're called migrant workers. They've moved away from their state, from their native place in search of work. Amid unsafe working conditions, look at what happened to them. They were working in a tunnel and the tunnel collapsed and they're trapped there. And a precarity of existence. Precarity means uncertainty. Don't know what's going to happen. That mostly goes unrecognized. So many things they are facing, so many problems they are facing. Have any of us really recognized and understood, and are we even aware of this? This larger predicament is a dilemma, problem. 2, you don't just have to rescue them when they are trapped inside a tunnel. Their existence itself is a predicament, and that also needs to be addressed by an all of government approach. You need the same kind of approach to their conditions when they are not trapped inside the tunnel during their regular lives, which is also marked by uncertainty, hazard, danger of working in unsafe conditions, and so many other things. All right? Okay. Question 1. What is the central theme of the passage? What is the author's main point in writing the passage? Or what is the gist of the passage? The Uttarakhand rescue mission was a story of triumph of the human spirit. A. The attention that the tunnel collapse and the rescue operations have received should be used as an opportunity to address structural issues. The Char Dham project involves the most hazardous large-scale construction in the world, or there are many lessons to be learned from the rescue operations. Is it A, B, C, or D? Quickly give me your answers. Is it A, B, C, or D? Is it that it was a story of triumph of the human spirit? Quickly give me your answers. Is it A, that it was a story of the triumph of the human spirit? Yes, it was, but the author goes to say other things beyond that. And you know a main point answer. Sonali, is that the entire passage? Does the entire passage speak only of the triumph of the human spirit? Priyanshi, Sonali. The first paragraph he says it was a triumph. After that, what does he say? He talks about the conditions. Third, he says, now it is time. Use this as an opportunity to address the structural issues, right? To address the various problems, including the migrant workers problem. So A is incomplete. B is closer to the main point that look, now the nation's attention is on the tunnel, on migrant workers, and on why the tunnel happened. So why the collapse happens. So now is the time to set right all that went wrong. So B is the correct answer. C, it says most hazardous. No. There are many lessons. This D is vague. What lessons is what B says. Correct? 2 points. The author talks about the condition of the migrant workers and also talks about why this happened. Like, you need to talk about other things. Let's look at why the collapse happened. We need to focus on um, structural issues. Why did the tunnel collapse in the first place? Right? Which of the following can be inferred from the last paragraph of the passage? For this, go back to the last paragraph. Okay, finally, so he's given all the lessons. Finally, the Uttarakanshi tunnel collapse has once again turned the spotlight on the invisible migrant workers. The last time our attention was on them was because the travails they faced during the lockdown. From those trapped to those who rescued them, both being migrant workers, are arduous stories about being away from home, how difficult, how miserable it is life away from home. And not only are they away from home, they are also working in unsafe conditions, and their existence itself is unsafe. And all this is not, we are not even aware, we don't even recognize what are the conditions of their work. And the author suggests that the government should tackle this issue also on a all of government basis. So what can be inferred from the last paragraph of the passage? Migrant workers are often ill-treated and their protests go unheard. The condition of the trapped workers in the tunnel is similar to their condition during the lockdown. Migrant workers face many hardships which often go unnoticed and unrecognized. We notice migrant workers only during tunnel collapses. Okay? So how do you come to the right option? Any option which has certain terms which you know have never been used in the passage or are too sweeping have to be ignored. Ill-treated, we don't know. Only during tunnel collapses, nahi. He talks about the pandemic when we also paid attention to them. So between B and C, which is the right option for question 2? The condition of the trapped workers on the tunnel is similar to their condition during the lockdown, or they face many hardships which often go unnoticed and unrecognized. Option B or C. Did he say the condition is the same, or did he say we are again paying attention to them? First time we paid attention to them was when they had problems during the lockdown. Now we are again paying attention to them because they are trapped. वो और ये अलग है ना? So how can it be B? How can it be B? Priyanshi and Sonali, how can it be B? He mentions the lockdown for the problems they faced. The spotlight, we noticed, we thought, do we normally talk about migrant workers? The spotlight, the attention was on them now because, oh, there are 41 workers trapped in this tunnel, hope they all come out, blah, blah, blah. Then everybody started talking about migrant workers and their problems. Earlier, once they got attention, national attention was during the lockdown. But that doesn't mean the condition is the same. That time they didn't have food, they were free, they could go anywhere. No, they couldn't because of figurative restrictions. So C is exactly what he says. We don't notice them. Now we need to set their resolve the problems that they face. Therefore, the correct answer is C. All right. Question 3. In the aftermath, this is a quote from the passage. In the aftermath, the national attention that the tunnel collapse and the resilience of the trapped workers have received is an opportunity to address structural issues. What does the author imply in the above lines? Okay, let's just go back. First part, he talked about the Char Dham project where the tunnel collapse happened. Correct? Then second part, he said, how they were rescued. Third, he says that we need to pay attention and resolve their problems. Now he says this one. What does structural issues mean? Why did the tunnel collapse? Right? So he's saying, look, when you are talking, I think something is missing here. Yeah. But we can infer, based on the national attention that the tunnel collapse received and the resilience that the trapped workers have received, it is time to address structural issues. So what can you infer from this statement? The construction projects in ecologically fragile zones have many structural issues that needs to be addressed, because it's in Uttakashi, right? Right at the beginning we said that here this happened in Uttakashi, which is an ecologically fragile zone, and that one paragraph I seem to have missed. All right. So basically, whenever you have construction projects, the structural issues need to be addressed. Can that be inferred from here? Tunnel collapse demonstrated the resilience of trapped workers. Tunnel collapse received a lot of national attention. Is it all of the above? B and C. B and C only is not given. So which answer can you infer? Question 3. A, only B, only C, or all of the above? Only one is question you can infer. The other two you can clearly infer. So what would you do in this case? This is the issue we had in CAT this year. That there was one option which was definitely there. Second one, I'm sure it's there also. Not sure of the third. And then the fourth one says all of the above. What do I do? Right? So quickly give me your answers. This can be understood because he says structural issues. Address structural issues means there are structural issues to be addressed. The fact that he is saying, he is mentioning the national attention means that the operations received national attention. The resilience of the trapped workers means it showed that the trapped workers were resilient. So all of the above is the answer. All right. All of the following are true about the tunnel collapse except. This is a direct question. If you're not sure of what you read, you can go back to the passage. Did he say that 41 migrant workers from 4 states were trapped in the collapsed tunnel? Do you remember reading that? Yes. So you'll say, okay, 1 is true. 7 government agencies, armed forces, and many others. Yes. The cause of the tunnel collapse was a landslide, November 12th. Yes. Most workers were rescued by day 10. No. By day 10, they had reached some stage. It was much more than 10 days that they were. By day 10, all the options only they came to know. Right? So it is not that after day 10 they were rescued. So the answer is D cannot be. D is not correct. All right. This part is what is not there in the am I missing one para? There is a paragraph missing, which is why this question I cannot see. the development of the region and beyond. Yeah, okay. What is the main reason for the mission to be a success according to the author? What is the main reason for the mission to be a success? He said that the main reason was something. Okay, what did he say? The mighty machines used in the rescue operation, the American auger, the continuous good weather during the rescue operations, the experience of the miners in working in the tiniest of crevasses, or the skill of the people operating the US-made auger machine. What do you think is the right answer? Quickly give me the question number and answer, then we'll go back to the passage and check. What was the main reason for the mission to be a success? Is it because of the machines used? Is it because of the weather? Is it the experience of the miners? Or is it the skill of the people operating the machine? Okay, Sonali thinks it's D. What about the others? Let me go back to the passage where I will show you. Here, the answer is very much here. In the end, it was the miners with experience of working in the tiniest of crevasses, closer to the men inside the tunnel than the mighty machines that preceded them, who made the machine a success. So is he saying that the mighty machines were the reason for the success? No, no. More than the mighty machines, it was the experience of the miners working in the tiniest of crevasses which made the mission a success. So the answer to the question is not the skill of operating the machine, it was the experience of the workers. Okay, so the answer is C. Got it? Okay. What is the meaning of colloquially? This is called rat hole mining, where only one person, they dig a very narrow hole and only one person at a time can go through the hole. It's called rat hole mining colloquially, right? Photocopying machine. How many of us say photocopying machine? This is Xerox machine. Copying machine. That's a colloquial usage. What does colloquial mean? Formal, informal, pedantic, polemic. What is the meaning of colloquial? Colloquial usage when we say. Do all of us say MBA entrance exam, business school entrance exam? We all say CAT. Right? So colloquial means informal, right? Polemic means controversial. Pedantic means something that gives too much importance to. Like boring basically, lacking the big picture, not looking at the big picture. What is the opposite of viable? What is the meaning of viable? And from there we'll come to the opposite of viable. Is this viable or not? I'll give you a plan and I'll ask you, is this viable or not? What is the meaning of viable? And from there tell me what is the opposite of viable. Give me the question number. Practical, feasible, impractical, permissible. What is the opposite of viable? Question 8. The next exams that you are going to take, SNAP, ZAT, NMAT, TISNET, Maharashtra CET, CMAT, all of them have vocabulary, right? Viable means feasible. Sonali, I want the opposite. Antonym. Viable means ये हो सकता है क्या? काम करेगा क्या? Feasible, is it possible? Is it feasible? Is it practical? Can it be done? Is it doable? So the opposite is C, impractical, cannot be done. What is the meaning of blueprint in the context of the passage? Well, that part is missing. He said this rescue operation can act as a blueprint for other rescue operations. Okay, I think that paragraph itself is missing. So when I say this rescue operation can act as a blueprint for other rescue operations, what do I mean by that? A plan of action can act as a plan of action for other rescue operations. Does it mean reproduction of a technical drawing, or this can serve as a prototype, as an example to be followed by other rescue operations? Is it A and C, C, B, or A? I think that paragraph is missing. I don't remember reading the word blueprint. एक paragraph काट दिया मैंने. Avneet, A तो है. Is C also possible? This rescue operation can act as a blueprint for all rescue operations. मतलब इस rescue operation को हम example की तरह रखेंगे, prototype की तरह रखेंगे. So the plan of action used during the rescue operation, and it can also act as a prototype. But this is the literal meaning of a blueprint of a house. ये meaning तो contextual नहीं है. So the correct answer is D. What's the meaning of arduous? They live away from their homes, living arduous lifestyles. Arduous means what? Sincere, laborious, superficial, profound. What is the meaning of the word? Sincere, laborious, superficial, profound. What does question 10 mean? Arduous, what does it mean? It means hard work or laborious. Alright, superficial means on the surface, profound means deep. Alright, okay. Which sentence is correct? I mean, in the passage one is used, that need not be the right one. I might have changed it. Is it in the end it was the miners with the experience of working in the tiny crevasses who finally made the mission a success? Or should I say at the end it was the miners? What is the answer for question 11? What's the correct expression? दोनों use करते हैं, but in this context only one is correct, because one meaning you use in the end and for one you use at the end. So here what is the correct answer? In the end. First we did this, next we did this, next we did this. अंत में यही काम करेगा. In the end. Suppose I'm talking of a line, okay? Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Shreyas Iyer, blah blah blah. Somebody is standing at the end of the line. Okay, so in the end is the correct expression. Excellent. All right, did you enjoy the session? If you did, then do press the like button so we can have other editorial analysis. Remember, your feedback is what keeps these sessions going. All right, so number of views, number of people who give me good feedback by saying at least like button press karo. We have a college predictor. Answer sheets are out. So now see which colleges are likely to take you. We'll have a profile. Everything is there. So look at that. Join our byju's.com free cat prep college predictor and see which is your college. Score and percentile predictor. You've got your answer sheets. You will have a good idea about where it is going. Join any of or all of our social media channels to get notifications of all our sessions on YouTube, on the app, and all our paid sessions. Join them so that you get into your Dream B school. All the upcoming exams, we have a course for other management entrance exams, SNAP crash courses going on YT at 7 p.m. every day. There are a lot of courses. Make sure you don't miss any of those sessions. All right, I will see you again tomorrow at 12 with probably SNAP, General English, most expected questions, and then again next Tuesday with an editorial analysis. All right, so see you again. Until then, bye-bye.